I thought I would never get back to doing the boat because I didn't feel like it. I just didn't feel like doing anything but receptive things, studying different things that I was interested in on the internet. And so after I posted the last couple of videos I made, suddenly I got a beam up on it, and I jumped up, opened the door, went back, got to the car, took out all the stuff that had been in the car, got all my tools out, as you saw, and started sawing and drilling and carrying on. I couldn't believe it. Here I was doing this again. And so I had been a bit concerned that I wasn't doing it. Of course, you don't know what anything's for, and the mistakes are the best part, as this says. I did make the mistake I made was thinking that the table was going to be the thing that was under the bed was going to become a table, because as soon as I got to the boat I thought, well, I'll have a look at this table arrangement. Now I have all these objects, and I took it out again. There's no way you could do it with this table. It's just so heavy and big and ridiculous. And there is another little piece of wood that I took down with me that's just a small thing, and I started to play around with this little piece of wood and thought, you know, you could make a nice little table, just a small table, and have it so instead of it sitting on the floor, it actually has a leg that goes down onto the bed. You know, I mean, it's kind of like you've got to think outside the square here a little bit, as the Italians did. You know, if it wasn't for the Italians, every nation's different. And if they tell you, the globalists tell you that we're all the same, but it's not true at all. And, you know, the Americans would never have produced the coffee machine. The coffee machine is purely Italian, this particular coffee machine, which makes a higher level kind of a coffee with bubbles in it, though, made with milk. And so, just like the American car, you know, the 56 Chev or something like that, you know, it's a kind of purely American thing. It would never ever be made by an Italian. The Italian would have gone, how terrible, you know. In the same way as an American, when seeing an Alfa Romeo, would have gone, oh, how effeminate, you know, something like this. I don't know what it is. And then, of course, the English have the Jaguar and that sort of stuff. And so the character of the nation is shown in what it creates. It's interesting, when they made the S-Type Jaguar, they built it in the same factory that they used to build the Spitfire. And they had a great idea to make the dashboard in the shape of the wing of a Spitfire. They probably had to do this because that's what they've been making, this shape over and over again in this factory. Now they had to make it, once again, make the shape, because there are patterns in the universe, and these patterns want to repeat. I'm not going to go into that, it's just a sideline issue, because what I'm doing is I'm just getting up, having my coffee. I want to show you my progress on the boat and how the mistake can become the best part. So everything's a mistake, because I had the idea of this, that this would somehow go together, you know, like it would, like this, you know, or like this, I don't know. But in actual fact, in the end, the best way it goes together is like this. Like this. Not to move, and it's like this. And so, actually it's upside down, because this has to go on the wall. Oh, that's interesting. Now I made a mistake. It still might change how it works, because the mistake I made was, which way around does this go? I was going to put it this way around. I think it has to go this way around. Okay, yeah, this way around. So this part goes slightly curved onto the boat. And then this thing has to go, oh, not like that. Wait a minute, how do they go? No, it can't be like that. Is it like that? No, it's not like that. Must be like that. Ah, here we go. Now, you know, it's kind of like, can only work in one way, but it's perfect the way it will work, it does work, because now you can see we have a perfectly straight up and down kind of arrangement. So now this is the table, this is the boat, okay, and the only measurement I took, for some reason, the measurement I took was on this piece, because I decided this piece already had a foot kind of thing on it, so that was going to be the part that sat on the bed and went underneath the table. And I made some marks on it, some measurements saying that how high it would have to be. These are the two marks. How high it would have to be if, depending on the level it was relative to this. But now you see it went right on the top, so it's right above it. I use this like a table, so it's actually going to go like this. Not the leg, but the tabletop's going to go like that. So the tabletop's going to be high. So it worked out perfectly, actually. And so some this nice Italian coffee. So then this piece of wood is interesting. I measured the size of the piece of wood had to be, the width of it, right? And it turned out that the board that I had, this was the door of my wardrobe, was exactly the right width, and it also has the chamfered edge, which we can use to our advantage somehow. And so I only had to cut it, and this is the other end of the door, and the best part of the door was at the top. It was damaged and badly stained in different parts. This was the best part of it. And so I was able to just make a single cut that, and because it's chipboard, it needs finishing off that with a piece of wood, which I even have in the car. I was going to have a look because I've got something I think is still in the car. And so all I had to do was make a single cut, and that's exactly the right width, and now this is about the size I thought it might be a good size to have. So that is all the table is, and because it's small like this, it's light, it's easy to deal with, easy to pack away, can be used in multiple places in the boat. And so I have a bit more of this where I cut this off, and I cut these and I drilled the holes in the right place. So this one's also a drilled hole. It's much easier to do this kind of drilling and working with big objects in the house than it is on the boat. So I'm glad I'm doing it. It's a lot easier to do it here. And so, to be able to move these big objects around, I don't think I would have been able to do it in the boat. So I would have a couple of these, more of these, and you can use pieces, or you don't have to use a whole lot, but you can do. And so I can put a number of these type pieces in different places on the boat and have the table go into different places. Could even be a seat. You know? So out of the mistake is 3 different things coming out of this. You know? Other possibilities. And this is a creative way of the universe. And if you don't get stuck in a rut and you leave yourself open to working with these mistakes, and everything becomes like better and better and better. And so I was going to put 2 hinges on here, and then I offered it up to the job. I won't turn it over, this is, you can see on the side, so I offered it up to the job. So it's got the kind of fold like this leg's got to fold away. And I had 2 hinges on here, but I thought, you know, this is a boat and it's been thrown about, it's got to be strong, yeah. And so I had a look at this arrangement. I thought, well, maybe we could put one of these on here. Oh, yeah, and I'm wondering, oh, how have I got screws with them on? They say, no, whatever I do, you see how many holes this has got, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes. It's quite a lot, isn't it? But I thought, what if I, instead of screwing it on here, what if I bolt it on? Or maybe I just put a couple of bolts, 2 bolts on one and 1 bolt on the other, and then I put screws so they can't twist, you know what I mean, that kind of arrangement. So the bolts is fully, it's not going to break at all then, it's going to be really solid. And the other thing is, I thought I wasn't going to use this because when I used this, I folded down, I found, oh no, this thing is, I wanted it to be folded away flat like this, So, oh no, it's going to be. But then I found out, so let's have a look how this works. This thing has to stick up, and so it's not going to be possible to have it fold flat anyway. And so I thought, okay, so how does that work now with this? And maybe, oh yeah, and so you've got this extra bit here. So now, you put like that, now it goes okay, it folds fairly well onto there. Very well. That's as far as it goes. Yeah, perfectly onto there. So now I can have it anywhere I want on there, where I want on there, and then this goes like this, but it's upside down the table. Oh no, we're not going, hang on, we're on the wrong way around now. Yeah, this is the edge here, this is the edge here. I'll show you from the side it goes on. Okay, so this is the side it goes on. Okay. This is how it goes here. And this goes on here, like that. So that's how it is at the moment. But it may change, yeah? Can't be set in our ways about these things. It's still a bit thick here. So it depends if it's ever going to be folded up. Maybe it's never going to be folded up. It's always going to be somewhere. It's probably likely that it's always going to be out. Because you can slide it, I can slide it down one end of the bed, and it's always going to be good to have it somewhere on the bed. You can put your computer on it, for example, and have your computer ready to go, and you can just move it into position when you're ready. So I think it's probably just going to be, this is just going to be a bracket mechanism, so I've got a strong way of attaching this leg so it won't break off. There you go. And I didn't get this for this job, I got this for my helm seat. They sent me 4 of them and I only need a couple for my helm seat. I could use 2 of them on here, but I think it's overkill. They look like there could be a rust problem, but I'm going to varnish over it so that it's kind of protected, It's only inside the boat. I can't afford a stainless arrangement, so I just have to live with it. It'll work for however many years needed. And then it can be remade somehow or other way as you improve. So okay, we'll build another kind of table. Maybe you need a round table. Maybe the square edges are no good. But at the moment I can't do round things because I don't have solid wood to work with, which I would need to do round things. So I'll probably round the corners off. Well, I have to, yeah. And there is because it's chipped, but it's edged in wood, and it's going to be edged over here in wood as well. So maybe on both sides, like I did the other ones. So yeah, it made itself fairly quickly. So that's that one. Well, as you can see, I've watched a couple of new movies, and I watched one of our videos the other day, and it was the one, I just happened to click, I was watching my latest video and it automatically played another video afterwards, and it was a video about me going to the second-hand shop. So I thought, why am I watching this video about me going to the second-hand shop? I thought, maybe it's time to go down there again. And so my lady phoned me to say I'd sent her a parcel of some clothing, and she said, what if it doesn't fit? It needs to be bigger. So I'm going to go down to the second-hand shop and have a look and see if there's anything down there for me, and maybe they've got some more movies that are worth watching to get a little bit of inspiration. So that's us for today.